Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll make the expression. Lucy. Oh, Lucy, 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 Lucy. I've said multiple times that Lucy is a moron, that she's a dingbat, that she is every name, every single adjective to describe someone as just straight up stupid. Now, her dumbass decides to go to the Metro Court because Maxie is there doing an interview with someone, and I guess this person's there asking questions about how does someone drop out and what are you going to do and this, that, and the third. And she does her best to sit there and try to cover up the situation and just kind of explain to him, hey, listen, everything's going to go fine. It's all good. We're still going to sit there and do this. But Lucy wasn't she wasn't happy with that answer. She is like, it's going to be a failure, it's going to be a disaster, and of course, Lucy feels like she can always do better. So she decided to once again risk everyone's safety, everyone's well-being, to go down there because she tried to call Maxie, right, and Maxie didn't answer. So she decides to go down there in person and talk to her. Felicia was there for a little bit. She didn't really do too much of anything. She got this old guy, because this guy was sent to ask him a bunch of questions like, oh, I want to sit there and use the patio, I want to use this. And Felicia was like, hey, listen, I'll take you upstairs. It's a much better view, and yada, yada, yada. So I guess that's why she was really there, because to be honest, whatever. So she takes this guy upstairs. Lucy comes in, and Max is like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be, dead. If Victor finds you, you won't be fake dead. You'll be, really, 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 really dead. It's like that warning just went over her head because the only thing she was meant to talk about was the nurse's ball. The hell with her safety and the hell with everyone else's safety. Now, there's a point where she is being truthful, right? And she's like, I get how everyone sees me as this, as that, as the third, or whatever. And you're wondering why I care about the nurse's ball so much. Now, her reasoning for it's beyond asinine. It is superficial at best, and it's one of those things that's like, bro, you might need therapy, because whatever. So she's like, it's the one night where people take me seriously. And I sat there and I said to myself, here's the thing. She says it's the one night that take her seriously, right? And in reality, if you know that, well, first of all, at the end of the day, the hell what everyone else sits there and thinks about her. She shouldn't use the nurse's ball as some sort of validation of, oh, you're gonna have to sit there and take me more seriously, and this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, the hell with them. If they don't take her seriously, then that's their fault and that's their loss. Now, granted, I could sit there and call this woman a moron to the end of time, but at the end of the day, she could practically sit there and tell me to kick rocks that my opinion don't mean ish because it's all about her and what she thinks. And she would be 100% right. So I don't understand why she's using that as some sort of, well, my one night event, people take me seriously. And I'm just like, I had so many different thoughts and I wrote down so much different things I could sit there and say, and it all really doesn't matter. Just be yourself and the hell with everyone else. The fact that you're using that as some sort of validation is an issue. Um, so we're just stupid in my opinion. And it's also almost sad because it's like, bro, that confidence has to come from within, you know? And it shouldn't matter what you do, it's who you are and how you carry yourself. But that was her reasoning, and she said what she said, and then she left. Then later on, throughout the episode, towards the end, that old guy with the cane that seemed like, at first, like, what the hell are you doing here? He was like, yeah, I just saw Lucy. Telling Victor all that. I saw Lucy. She was just here a little bit ago. She drove a car, a company car, whatever. So now, at this point, Lucy is pretty much leading the villain right back to their lair because of her selfishness, her self-centeredness. Yeah, she's selfless when it comes to us nurses board. And I know that she does believe in the cause and how it helps people and everything like that. But it's her vanity and her being a moron that's going to literally screw everyone else over. This woman is 60 years old, and it's like people have to sit there and babysit her like she's, I don't know, 12. Now, Sonny is at the safe house, and Sonny is like, listen, y'all need to stay right here. Because they're sitting there thinking about Paul thing, and Sonny's like, you need to stay right here. Let me make some arrangements. When it's safe, y'all leave. Because y'all just go on your own, most likely y'all gonna wind up getting killed. And of course, Valentine's like, hey, listen, we've been doing this game for a while. We good. Like, we don't need your, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know how to, we know how to survive. And I'm like, maybe. But towards the end, Sonny leaves, Drew leaves. Drew backs up Sonny as far as like not leaving until they have a place to go to. So those two leave. So finally, Anna's like, I'm the one that got, I got her killed. This is the second time that I involved a civilian, and now this person got hurt. And I'm like, good. I'm glad that you are owning up to that. Now, while Valentine did have a point about about the fact that she was on, her time on this planet was pretty much limited the minute that she started working with Victor, and that he said that they gave her the best chance of surviving. I'm like, boo. I was like, no. You don't sit there and try to absolve her of her guilt, because you knew she was in danger the minute she kept going back and forth. I don't know. It's kind of a complicated situation, and I guess part of what Valentine was saying was true as far as she already sent her home. She already sent her home death warrant the minute she started working with Victor. But Anna could have did better as far as protecting her asset, and once again, she didn't. So if she's feeling some guilt, let her feel it. Don't sit there and try to absolve that. So we're gonna talk about Carly for a minute. Oh, Carly, 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 Carly. Something happens when Carly comes into the cabin, and it looks like Willow is like in pain and in stress or whatever, and Nina's there, and Carly's like, well, what did you do? What did you do to her? And this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, why don't you find out what the situation is before you start yelling at Nina? Like, you just walked in and you just assumed something that wasn't even true, and when everything was settled, it comes to find out that Nina was only there to sit there and ask Willow about the transplant and how it's going. That's what Willow was saying. So when Willow leaves, well, Willow didn't even leave yet, but my whole thing is like, all right, once you found out what was going on and that she didn't do anything to actually bother Willow and stuff like that, she should have apologized. But she didn't. She acted like this 12-year-old stubborn little girl and was just trying to take control of the situation. I'm like, you're not her night nurse. I'm pretty sure y'all have money to sit there and do that. Nina was only there to sit there and ask questions and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, you don't need to sit there and try to take control of the situation. It's fine, you know? But I feel like it was really crappy that Carly, once she knew what was going on, she didn't even bother to apologize. I was like, wow, Carly, okay. And when Willow leaves, Nina's like, how about we just sit there and try to push our BS aside for each other in support of Willow? Of course, Carly couldn't do that, so she decides to sit there and take. I don't even want to sit there and say take cheap shots at her because what she said was valid, but it was just like you heard what she said and you chose to ignore it. Like, oh, my rivalry, my anger with you is more important than us trying to get along just for this woman's sake, which is completely and utterly selfish of her to do. But that is Carly. Now, on the flip side, when Carly was there talking about the relationship with Sunny, she was 100% spot on. Talking about the danger and stuff like that, and talking about, you're not Nixon Falls anymore. If you're going to be with Sunny, you need to accept his life fully, the good, the bad, and all of it. Right now you only experiencing just a little bit of it, and she was like, I can see it in your eyes, and sooner or later, Sunny is going to see the exact same thing. This is why I came down so hard on her when she was there whining to Phyllis about Sonny and his dangerous life. It's like, bro, you knew exactly who he was from jump. You literally said you was hiding him because of his danger, because of the danger in his world. So the fact that she came to Phyllis whining and complaining, or whining and complaining to Phyllis, was just acidine. Now, Nina sat there and tried to put on a brave face and stuff like that, as far as, oh, well, he tells me what I need to know, and, that's our arrangement and it's different from y'all. And Carly was like, ignorance isn't always bliss. It's just not. So she was 100% right as far as telling Nina, if you're going to accept Sonny, you need to accept his life and every single aspect that comes with it. Not just the good. Dude ain't Mike anymore. So, at the end, well, they both look pretty stupid. Let's just be honest. Carly and Nina, in this whole episode, both look incredibly stupid. Ava sees Esme. Now, she still got beef with Esme for all the stuff that Esme did to her, to Trina. She got a lot of beef, she got a lot of anger, and she was like, oh, I think you need to sit there and make it up. Sat there and I looked at it, and I'm like, Ava, in a lot of ways, you're being a hypocrite right now. Okay? How many times did Sonny and Carly lambaste you for what she did to Morgan? For what she did to Morgan that ultimately led to his death. You know? And how many times she sit there and try to apologize? How many times she sit there and say, I'm a changed woman, this, that, and the third. But yet you are doing the exact same thing to Esme. Oh, just because you don't remember it doesn't mean you didn't do it. Yeah, okay, cool. And just because your heart was in the right place as far as trying to get Morgan away from Kiki at the time doesn't absolve you from what you did. So to be honest, in a lot of ways, when she was sitting there talking to Esme, I'm just like, all I keep sitting there thinking is hypocrite. That's it. That's the only thing I can sit there and keep thinking about is just hypocrite. So while that's going on, um, Spencer's meeting Victor in the park, and they're discussing the best way to sit there and take Esme down, as far as planting some evidence, finding some damning evidence. This way, they could sit there and send her back to jail. But Victor's also like, listen, we could just sit there and just circumvent this whole thing, and I could just put two in her head and just call it a wrap. But Spencer's like, no, my friends need to sit there and see justice get served. So he's like, all right, fine, we'll go with your idea first. But if your idea doesn't work, then we're going with my idea. And Spencer was kind of, curious about he was a little kind of sus at the fact that they were meeting in a park instead of meeting at the hotel. And Victor was sitting there like, oh, well, eyes and ears and stuff like that, and nature and good planet or whatever crap he was sitting there using to sit there and try to lie. And, at the end of the day, Spencer was like, you know what, a lot of stuff ain't making sense, but if you're going to help me get back my baby brother, whatever. So he accepted, he left, and, once he left, the henchman was talking to Victor, and Victor was like, listen, if I got to sit there and lie to him, I'm going to do it, because I'm going to need his help. And Spencer did sit there and say, I owe you one. When he left, Victor was like, all right, yeah, I'm counting on that. Because he know he's not going to be part of his full plan, so he's like, as far as what he's doing with the Ice Princess, I don't know, Superman 2 or something, what he's planning on doing. Um, so he's just going to sit there and keep lying to him. He's totally fine with that. And of course, in the end, once that old guy told him about Lucy, he was like, "Yep, I'm coming after them. Coming after Lucy. I'm coming after." He pretty much was like, "Thank you, Lucy, for being such an idiot." So, so at some point, Austin does come by, and Esme leaves, and Esme is talking to Spencer. Because she was meant to complain that he took like forever, and Spencer's like, yeah, whatever. All right, so we leaving now, and so they got in the elevator, and Spencer's more convinced to go through whatever this plan is with Victor. Oh yeah, so Austin is talking to Ava, and um, long story short, Ava's like, we need to come up with a good story because Felicia was asking a bunch of questions as far as what was Austin doing at Spoon Island. So, one of the things that Ava says to Austin is like, do you have a tux or whatever? I feel like they're going to get in some sort of romance. So this way, it's more believable of why they're spending so much time together. I feel like that's what they're going to end up doing. I mean, they've been, I guess, what they call chemistry testing them for a while, and I guess enough people actually like them together. So that's what they're going to end up doing. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Can't think of anything else that happened. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna thank you for watching. Stay safe. If I did miss anything, come to the live stream tonight. Recently, they talk about the episode as well as the other three soap operas that I do Monday through Friday. So, come through. With that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.